Hello everyone, this is Michael Beck from Royal Gold Soils, Royal Grown Radio, Imperial Analytics, and Crown Jewels Fertilizers, and I'm here today to do a little bit of a seed start demo. We get inquiries all the time about which of our mixes is the best for starting seeds, and the answer is several of them are very good. It just depends on what you're starting, when you're starting it, what your purposes are. So today we're going to plant 4 of our different soils up into these cell trays, do a variety of seeds into each one, and we'll keep checking back in on them, share it with you, and see what's working best in what mix to give you a little bit of guidance on how to get your seeds started for your garden this year. So we have a variety of our mixes here. We're going to lay them out in each of these trays. Our best mixes for starting seeds are our most gentle or inert mixes because those seeds need a soft, safe, gentle environment to start and put those tender roots out. So we're going to use the cocoa fiber, our tuber, our basement mix, and our king's mix for the project today, just to give you guys an idea of what works best for these situations. This cocoa fiber is one of the best things for starting seeds just because of how purely soft it is. It's got a good moisture level, really easy to use, really gentle on the seeds, and you can provide your own nutrition at the appropriate level for whatever you're planting. Another of my favorite choices is our tuber. It's got a lot of perlite. It's very well aerated, inert, soilless blend. It's really going to be very forgiving in maintaining a decent amount of moisture, but a good amount of air for tender seeds. Another of our most popular choices for seed starts is our King's Mix. It's one of our most all-purpose soils, so it's an easy one to have laying around for anything you want to do. Again, it's nice and well aerated with a good amount of this perlite. Holds a little more water than the tuber, but it also has a small amount of dry organic amendment in there to provide a slight bit of nutrition over that first couple weeks of your plant's life in it. And here we have what might be our most traditional choice for a seed starting mix, which is our basement mix. It's a cocoa-based, all-purpose style soil, holds a good amount of water. See, there's a little less perlite than some of our more well-draining mixes. It's also got coconut husk chips to hold a little bit of extra water, some lava rock to offset the amount of perlite we use. So this is a little bit more of a traditional potting mix. It may not be quite as fine and quite as gentle as some of the other mixes, but a lot of seeds really prefer a little bit stronger of a soil to start. So we'll see a little later in this project which is the most successful. We're just going to do a fast and dirty fill here, dump it on top, and spread it into all these cells. I absolutely love the ingredient, these coconut husk chips in the basement mix and the King's Mix, but for our purpose, if we find any really big ones here, we're just going to get them out of the way of these cells because we're looking for something a little bit finer in this very small unit application. So we're just going to very gently smooth over to make sure there's a decent amount of soil. We don't want these packed, but we want to make sure they're full and there's not a lot of airspace hiding down in there. Get them full. Kind of clear off the top, and we'll be ready to go. We're going to repeat this with the other mixes, and we'll get into the seeds. One thing to remember when you're using cocoa fiber, not all cocoa is created equal. You want to make sure, especially with seeds, to use a well-rinsed, well-buffered cocoa product that doesn't have a lot of inherent salts that could potentially harm the super tender seedlings and the roots. Again, those chunky coconut husk chips just don't have the best place in these tiny little cells, so we'll just get those big ones right out of the way. Another thing to remember, no matter what you're planting, is read the instructions. Not all seeds want the same treatment when they're getting planted. Some want to be deeper, some want to be shallower. Just take a quick look at the instructions and get yourself some guidance. Pretty similar instructions. They say about 1/4 inch deep, so we're just going to go through real quickly and poke a couple rows of each of these 4 crops, and we'll check back in with you later. I love the way the cocoa fiber holds the shape of the hole you press in. We just go through and drop a seed or 2 into each hole. An extra seed or 2 pops in there. No big deal, there are no mistakes, just happy accidents. Ooh, Lacinato, my favorite of the kales. A lot of people call this dinosaur kale. You may see it in the grocery store labeled as dinosaur kale, Lacinato. Really great, tenderized raw in a salad, steamed, dehydrated as kale chips. Just a great all-around ingredient. Just a little bit trickier to stick to 1 or 2 seeds when you're dealing with super tiny seeds like this. But if you end up with a couple plants, by the time they get a little bigger, you get to putting them in a larger container or out in your garden, you can just thin down to the strongest plants out of each cell. Normally I would dedicate my own individual tray or 6-pack styles to each individual crop to keep them separated a little better, but specifically for this experiment to see which seed is doing better in which mix, I thought this format would be a little more visual for us all. And there you go, as simple as that. And then we'll just go through and gently smooth over the tops of these, kind of close them in. Some people like to be a little more gentle than this. I figure if it's going to make it out in the garden, it's going to learn the hard way. So there you have it, folks. We're going to give these just a quick little drink and water in and throw some humidity domes on there to protect them, help keep them warm and moist and humid through the germination. And I'm really excited to see who wins the race here, which mix excels with which specific crops, or if we have any even spread. Check back in a week or 2. We'll be sharing the results. Thanks for joining us today. Check back in to our YouTube at Royal Gold Soil. Subscribe, leave a comment, tell us what you're thinking about our mixes, about the videos. We really appreciate you tuning in today. Check us out on Instagram at Royal Gold Soil, on Facebook also at Royal Gold Soil, and at www.royalgoldcocoa.com.